Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Apart from anything else, without additions or modifications. Only the bare facts. Lay bare. Bare your breasts. Just barely adequate or within a lower limit. A bare majority. Providing no shelter or sustenance. Bare rocky hills. Lacking a surface finish such as paint. Bare wood. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. Having everything extraneous removed including contents. The bare walls. Not having a protective covering. A bare blade. Completely unclothed. Bare bodies. Make public. Lacking in magnitude or quantity. A bare livelihood. Lacking its natural or customary covering. A bare hill. Apart from anything else, without additions or modifications. Shocked by the mere idea. A small pond of standing water. Being nothing more than specified. A mere child. Apart from anything else, without additions or modifications. The simple passage of time was enough. Exhibiting childlike simplicity and credulity. A person lacking intelligence or common sense. Botany, of leaf shapes, of leaves having no divisions or subdivisions. Easy and not involved or complicated. A simple game. Lacking mental capacity and subtlety. Any herbaceous plant having medicinal properties. Having few parts, not complex or complicated or involved. A simple problem. Unornamented. A simple country schoolhouse. Lay bare. Without the natural or usual covering. Lay bare. Denude a forest. Lay bare. Take off or remove. Strip a wall of its wallpaper. An airfield without normal airport facilities. Remove substances from by a percolating liquid. A sequence of drawings telling a story in a newspaper or comic book. Take away possessions from someone. The Nazis stripped the Jews of all their assets. Get undressed. She strips in front of strangers every night for a living. A form of erotic entertainment in which a dancer gradually undresses to music. She did a strip right in front of everyone. Artifact consisting of a narrow flat piece of material. Remove all contents or possession from, or empty completely. Remove, someone's or one's own, clothes. Steal goods. Take as spoils. A relatively long narrow piece of something. He felt a flat strip of muscle. Draw the last milk, of cows. Remove a constituent from a liquid. Remove the surface from. Strip wood. Remove the thread, of screws. Strip the cured leaves from. Strip tobacco. Thin piece of wood or metal. Of questionable or minimal quality. Marginal writing ability. Just barely adequate or within a lower limit. A marginal victory. At or constituting a border or edge. The marginal strip of beach. Producing at a rate that barely covers production costs. Marginal industries. Providing no shelter or sustenance. Barren lands. Completely wanting or lacking. Writing barren of insight. An uninhabited wilderness that is worthless for cultivation. The barrens of Central Africa. Not bearing offspring. A barren woman. Providing no shelter or sustenance. The bleak treeless regions of the high Andes. Offering little or no hope. Prospects were bleak. Unpleasantly cold and damp. Bleak winds of the North Atlantic. Reduce in population. Providing no shelter or sustenance. The desolate surface of the moon. Leave someone who needs or counts on you. Leave in the lurch. Cause extensive destruction or ruin utterly. Crushed by grief. Depressed and desolate of soul. Without qualification. Used informally as, often pejorative, intensifiers. Stark staring mad. Providing no shelter or sustenance. A stark landscape. Devoid of any qualifications or disguise or adornment. Facing the stark reality of the deadline. Severely simple. A stark interior. Complete or extreme. Stark poverty. Lacking a surface finish such as paint. Unfinished furniture. Not brought to an end or conclusion. Unfinished business. Not brought to the desired final state. Not mixed with extraneous elements. Plain water. Express complaints, discontent, displeasure, or unhappiness. My mother complains all day. Clearly revealed to the mind or the senses or judgment. Made his meaning plain. Free from any effort to soften to disguise. The plain and unvarnished truth. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. A plain hairstyle. Unmistakably, plain is often used informally for plainly. You are plainly wrong. Extensive tract of level open land. They emerged from the woods onto a vast open plain. Lacking patterns especially in color. Lacking in physical beauty or proportion. A plain girl with a freckled face. A basic knitting stitch made by putting the needle through the front of the stitch from the left-hand side. Not elaborate or elaborated, simple. Plain food. Not taken up by scheduled activities. Spare time on my hands. Thin and fit. The spare figure of a marathon runner. Refrain from harming. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. An extra car wheel and tire for a four-wheel vehicle. Give up what is not strictly needed. He asked if they could spare one of their horses to speed his journey. More than is needed, desired, or required. Sleeping in the spare room. An extra component of a machine or other apparatus. Lacking in magnitude or quantity. A spare diet. A score in 10 pins, knocking down all 10 after rolling 2 balls. Kept in reserve especially for emergency use. A spare tire. Save or relieve from an experience or action. I'll spare you from having to apologize formally. Use frugally or carefully. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. Unembellished white walls. Lacking embellishment or ornamentation. Functional architecture featuring stark unornamented concrete. Having only essential or minimal features. A stripped new car. Having everything extraneous removed including contents. With clothing stripped off. Not having a protective covering. Unsheathed cables. Completely unclothed. Having no protecting or concealing cover. Naked to mine enemies. Completely unclothed. Naked from the waist up. Devoid of elaboration or diminution or concealment, bare and pure. Naked ambition. Lacking any cover. Naked branches of the trees. Of the eye or ear, e.g., without the aid of an optical or acoustical device or instrument. Visible to the naked eye. A statue of a naked human figure. A naked person. Completely unclothed. A nude model. A painting of a naked human figure. Without clothing, especially in the phrase, in the nude. They swam in the nude. Exposed to fresh air. The mass of air surrounding the Earth. It was exposed to the air. Travel via aircraft. Air travel involves too much waiting in airports. Exposed to cool or cold air so as to cool or freshen. Air the old winter clothes. A slight wind, usually refreshing. As he waited, he could feel the air on his neck. A succession of notes forming a distinctive sequence. She was humming an air from Beethoven. A distinctive but intangible quality surrounding a person or thing. An air of mystery. Broadcast over the airwaves, as in radio or television. We cannot air this X-rated song. Make public. She aired her opinions on welfare. Medium for radio and television broadcasting. The program was on the air from 9 till midnight. A mixture of gases, especially oxygen, required for breathing, the stuff that the wind consists of. Air pollution. Be broadcast. This show will air Saturdays at 2 p.m. Exposed to warm or heated air, so as to dry. Once thought to be one of 4 elements composing the universe, Empedocles. The region above the ground. Her hand stopped in mid-air. Call attention to. Make public. Call attention to. Make public. Short underpants for women or children, usually used in the plural. Of clothing, revealing the body. Her dress was scanty and revealing. lacking in magnitude or quantity. A scanty harvest. Become tight or as if tight. Become more focused on an area of activity or field of study. Make or become more narrow or restricted. The selection was narrowed. Characterized by painstaking care and detailed examination. A narrow scrutiny. Lacking tolerance or flexibility or breadth of view. A brilliant but narrow-minded judge. Define clearly. I cannot narrow down the rules for this game. A narrow strait connecting two bodies of water. Limited in size or scope. The narrow sense of a word. Not wide. A narrow bridge. Very limited in degree. Won by a narrow margin. Not hospitable. They are extremely inhospitable these days. Unfavorable to life or growth. The barren, inhospitable desert. Not having a coat of paint or badly in need of a fresh coat. An unpainted house. Not having makeup on. Her sweet unpainted face. Not decorated with something to increase its beauty or distinction. Not decorated with something to increase its beauty or distinction. Leave behind empty. Move out of. Excrete or discharge from the body. Needing nourishment. After skipped lunch, the men were empty by supper time. Devoid of significance or force. Empty promises. Become empty or void of its content. A container that has been emptied. Emptied of emotion. After the violent argument, he felt empty. Holding or containing nothing. An empty glass. Make void or empty of contents. Remove.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.